My name's Brady Williams, and I have 5 wives and 24 children.
Hello, welcome to Happily Ever Reality. I am so glad you're here. Today we are talking about the other polygamous family that briefly shared their lives on TLC, the Williams family. Brady Williams and his 5 wives were all featured on the show appropriately titled My 5 Wives. The show premiered in 2014 and ran for 2 seasons that included a total of 20 episodes. I've previously done a video about the first episode of My 5 Wives, and I compared it to the first episode of Sister Wives. I wanted to look at who Cody was when the show premiered and who Brady was when his show first premiered. I'm going to go ahead and link that here. But today I'm going to be starting a series where I work through all of the episodes of My 5 Wives. So today we're going to be looking at episode 1 and 2. If you want to watch the series, it is available on Discovery Plus, and they do offer a 7-day free trial. So if you aren't sure about the commitment to Discovery Plus, you can go over there and check it out and watch the show, and you can cancel it if you want to, but there is a lot of good stuff over there. I just subscribed recently and I was surprised. With all of that out of the way, let's take a look at My 5 Wives. Episode 1 focuses on introducing us to Brady and each of the wives. We find out that they're all living outside of Salt Lake City, Utah, with their 24 children. The wives and kids are split into 2 homes, and then the homes are divided into apartments. Paulie, Robyn, and Rosemary live in one home. Nonie and Rhonda live in another home. Each house has its own separate living space, kitchen, and bedrooms for the wives, so the homes are really divided up into separate apartments. So I'm going to put in a clip of Brady talking about that here.
Have their own kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms. All the kids are divvied up in their own mother's homes, separate, but yet all still together.
We trade.
Brady shares that he was raised mainstream Mormon, but converted to FLDS when he was 16. Now, all of the wives are similar. They all grew up in polygamous families. They all grew up within the FLDS faith, so they are used to polygamy. Brady actually had married all 5 of the wives by the time he was 29 years old. They do show the family praying, but Brady says they gradually left the FLDS. They no longer follow any specific faith. He says leaving was hard because it meant giving up the polygamous community. He says they feel like misfits now. But, of course, in classic TLC fashion, Brady does have a tagline about their polygamous lifestyle.
But it's not complicated. We love each other.
I really like Brady, but when he talks like this, it makes me think of another infamous polygamist husband who had a tagline, "Love should be multiplied, not divided." Ugh. But I digress. We end up meeting his first wife, and that's Paulie. Because she's the first wife, of course, that means they're legally married, and they've been married for 21 years. They have 6 kids together. She ends up sharing that they courted for 6 weeks before he proposed. So that's not very long, but it's pretty typical in the FLDS community. She works at a dental office now, and she ends up sharing that Brady rotates between the wives, so she gets to spend every 5th night with him. We also find out then that they get to share extra nights with Brady when it's their birthday or if they're having an anniversary. Next, we meet Robyn. She is the second wife, and she has been married to Brady for 20 years. They have 5 children together. She actually married Brady 8 months after Paulie had married Brady, and she did it while Paulie was pregnant. Robyn is someone who is very sensitive, and she considers herself to be a people pleaser. She's also rather crafty, and she made the other wives this really unique gift one year. Let me just show you a clip.
I made each of my sister wives a body pillow that was of Brady, and it has this little thought cloud with their name in it, so it's like he's dreaming of them, and it was something they could hold and snuggle when it's not his night to be with them.
Yep, she made them body pillows with Brady on it. They also included care instructions. I'm going to show you guys a picture. It says hold, hug, cuddle, and kiss as often for needed for comfort on lonely nights. Imagine another woman spending the night with your man and her making you a body pillow with his face on it before she does it. Yeah, it's wild. I can't even imagine it. We end up finding out that there is a bit of drama within the family. Each wife is supposed to get to spend their birthday night with Brady. But there's an issue. Brady and Robyn share the same birthday. And of course, in a polygamous family, this is an issue because who's going to spend the night with him? Robyn is very, very emotional about it, and when she talks about it, she is on the verge of tears. Next, we meet Rosemary, the third wife. They have been married for 18 years and have 4 children. One of Rosemary's daughters says that she is known as the wife that can cook. If you are a fan of Sister Wives, you may recall that Christine was interested in Cody before Cody was interested in her. This is similar. Rosemary said she fell in love with him when she was 17, but he was not interested in her until later. They finally married when she was 20. I want you to think about that. That's 3 years. That's like ages in the FLDS world. Rosemary said she had a hard time adjusting initially because she tried to be so much like Paulie and Robyn, but eventually she realized she couldn't do that forever, and she found her own place within the family. Brady talks really highly of Rosemary. He says she's super talented, and anything she touches, she can do. Rosemary is currently in school for music education. Rosemary does admit that she struggles with comparison. She refers to herself as the chubby one in the family, and she thinks the other wives just look beautiful. It's clear her weight is something she struggles with, and they end up having a conversation on the show. It's between her and Brady, where they talk about her weight. And I just want to say this. Brady is very kind when he talks to her about it. He really focuses on her health, and he's very, very sensitive to her feelings. If you would have told me that there was going to be a scene where the polygamist husband talks to one of the wives about her weight, I would have thought that was horrible, but it really is not that bad. He seems very, very kind, and he listens to her. It's not as bad as it sounds. Yeah, let me go ahead and put in a clip here of Brady talking about Rosemary.
When Rosemary thinks that I'm not attracted to her, that breaks my heart because I am. I'm hopelessly attracted to Rosemary.
Brady just talks very highly about her, and he's very kind when he talks about her struggles. It's just so different from that other husband who likes to share the nacho story. Next, we meet Nonie. She is the 4th wife. They've been married for 15 years and have 5 kids. We find out from Robyn that she really had to work through a lot with Nonie. You see, when Nonie married into the family, she moved in and lived with Robyn, and there were just a lot of difficulties. Robyn said Nonie felt like she was around too much and she never got to have any privacy. They ended up working through it, but Nonie said the beginning was very difficult. Much like Rosemary, she said she felt like she needed to suppress her identity to try to fit in with Paulie and Robyn. I will tell you, and this is just a matter of opinion, I feel like Paulie and Robyn are exceptionally soft-spoken and very quiet. Rosemary and Nonie both seem more outgoing, so I'm sure it was difficult for them to find their places within the family when Robyn and Paulie had already been there and bonded together. Nonie says that she is a bit of a perfectionist. She likes all things to be in their place, and she likes things very clean. She talks about how the recession took a toll on Brady's business and they had to cut back on things to save money. But in the very next scene, after she's talked about that, we get this.
I might like to have another baby.
Wow.
Yep, you heard that right. She wants to have another baby. Brady listens to her as she explains that she really still feels like she wants to have another child, but he doesn't actually agree or disagree. He tells her he's going to need time to think about it, and during a confessional, he acknowledges that the truth is he is already stretched thin, and I really appreciate that about him. He is aware of his limits, and in my opinion, he's probably already surpassed those limits. The last wife we meet is Rhonda. She is the 5th and final wife. She's been married to Brady for 14 years, and they have 4 children. Rhonda shares that she cooks for the whole family every Thursday. We also find out during the show that they actually eat together every night. So this family comes together for dinner. She knew Brady before he had married the other wives. They'd actually dated and then separated and then got back together years later. She works outside the home as a medical assistant and she loves her job. Now, I want you to remember all of these women grew up in the FLDS and they all have grown up with polygamy. Listen to what Rhonda says.
The fact that Brady's with other women on other nights, it doesn't really bother me. I don't know if it's because I was just raised this way. You know, my dad had several wives, and it was just kind of, that's the way it is. But
I guess that's a positive. I do think it's good that all of these women grew up with polygamous families, so they were prepared for what they were getting into. We find out that Rhonda has previously had several miscarriages that were difficult and traumatizing. She doesn't want to go through pregnancy again, but she would like to have another baby. So during this episode, she talks to Brady about wanting to adopt a baby. Yes, I said adopt. And normally I would think that's really nice, but this family already has 24 kids. It seems like Brady and their finances are stretched really thin, and this just doesn't seem feasible. But Rhonda really wants it. She really wants to look into adoption and having another baby in their lives. At this point in the episode, we have met all of the wives, but we are not done yet. That birthday drama that I mentioned earlier, it's going to be brought up again because Robyn and Brady's birthday is coming up, and they're going to celebrate it in this episode. Now, I mentioned Robyn and Brady, they share a birthday, so they're born on the same day. And the rule in the family, or the tradition in the family, is that each wife gets to spend her birthday with Brady. But if Robyn's birthday is the same as Brady's, that means Brady will be spending his birthday night with just one wife. So it ends up being this huge issue, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I find it a little bit childish. A lot of holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, things we celebrate don't happen on the exact date that we want them to. Work, life, kid stuff, illness, any number of things make our plans change. So I'm just not able to wrap my head around all of these adult women crying because they don't get to see Brady on his exact birthday. I can only assume it's because they are competing for his time and attention. Do I like this family? Yeah, so far I like the Williams family, but this reminds me that I'm not a big fan of polygamy. Rosemary is the person I actually understand the most. Here is her solution.
Brady should just celebrate it on a different day because he doesn't care about it. And if he doesn't care, then why should anybody else care?
That is how I feel. If it's not a big deal to Brady, then who cares? Celebrate his birthday on another day. But we end up seeing that Nonie and Paulie are really emotional about this whole birthday arrangement.
It's not just the fact that I'm sharing a husband with somebody. I'm sharing Brady's birthday. That hurts.
During this time, we also find out that there is a birthday tradition where Brady gives the wife kisses on her birthday. So if it's your birthday and you were turning 40 in this family, you would get 40 kisses. Now, they're not intense, romantic, long kisses. These are just quick pecks, but it's something they do. During this scene, the wives all talk about jealousy, and each wife basically says they feel jealousy, but they sort of have to push it aside. They have to overcome it. It's really just a cute, silly tradition, and in a normal family, this probably wouldn't even be an issue at all, but of course, with polygamists, this is a great time to talk about jealousy. We move forward to seeing Robyn and Brady talking on the bed. Now remember, Robyn's the one that shares the birthday with Brady. She is really upset. It's clear this whole birthday arrangement thing is getting to her. It seems to upset her a lot that the other women are unhappy that Brady's with her. Again, I'm going to say it, I think this is all very childish, but she is someone who's super sensitive, so she's crying about this whole situation. And what's sad is it is her birthday, and here she is crying. I would actually feel guilty if I ruined someone else's birthday. Like if I was the other wives, if I was any one of them, I would feel bad for making her feel bad on her birthday. There she is crying, and it should be a day she's celebrating. So yes, there's a bunch of crying women over Brady's birthday. They end up getting together and having a family meeting, and the birthday situation is brought up. Robyn offers to just start celebrating her birthday on a different day, which is completely normal. Like, to me, it makes sense. Celebrate it on a different day. Fine. Brady can spend that day with her. No big deal. But for some reason, this ends up being an issue. And Robyn looks like she's going to cry, and then Paulie looks like she's going to cry. All I'm going to say is I could not live like this. It would drive me crazy. Everyone's so emotional. So it ends up going down that They will keep it the way it is. So they all agree to keep the arrangement where Brady and Robyn spend the night together. So nothing comes of it. But there's also something else on the agenda for this family meeting, and that is adoption. Of course, everyone is going to get emotional about this because they're already super emotional, specifically Nonie, because when Rhonda brings up the adoption, Nonie then has to bring up how she wants to have another baby. So there's just a lot going on here. A lot of reasons for everyone to cry. A lot. All the time. That is the one thing I will say that feels very different about this show than Sister Wives. There's just a lot of tears. I don't know if maybe it's because they were being filmed, and I'm assuming this would have been the beginning of the filming. Maybe they were very emotional. But man, it's a lot. So Brady and Nonie and Rhonda are sort of the ones talking the most about adoption and possibly Nonie having another baby. I'm starting to get them confused. But in the end, of course, they're not making any decisions that day. What Rhonda is wanting is for everyone to consider adoption and if they would want to adopt a baby into the family. Robyn does make a very good point, though. She says that her kids already feel like they don't have enough time with Brady and that there's only one of him. And, that's going to spread his time out even more. More children in the family will mean less time that Brady has for each one of the kids. This is also going to be a huge financial decision. It could cost a lot of money to adopt a baby. So they have a lot to think about. They aren't going to make the decision right away, but Brady wants them all thinking about it. So that is it for episode 1. I will tell you, I find it a little bit odd that they are so emotional. Like, everyone looks like they're on the verge of tears. Maybe Rosemary is the one Rosemary and Rhonda don't. I think they they're not going to cry the way the other wives are, but it does feel like everyone's very emotional. I keep wondering if filming this show made them nervous. I think I would be nervous if it was me. I don't know if I'd cry though, but everyone handles stress sort of differently. We'll just have to see. I watched the show when it aired, but not regularly. I would catch it on TLC and then watch a little bit of it, but I wasn't interested enough to watch weekly. So I don't remember the plot or anything. It's almost like I'm watching it for the first time. And I'm sure there are episodes I'm watching for the first time, but I vaguely remember thinking that I liked Brady Williams better than Cody Brown. And I think as I watch the show, it's confirming that. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Let me know in the comments what you thought. If you've watched episode 1, if you like the show, should I keep doing recaps and talking about the show? Or is it nah, it's in the past, let it go? What do you guys think? I definitely want to know. That is my favorite part of having this channel. I say that all the time. I don't always respond to every comment, but I do read them. So thank you for leaving the comments. If you haven't already, please click like and subscribe and come back to Happily Ever Reality.